Hey everyone, Pam here. In this video, I'll explain how the harvest mechanic works and how to obtain the life force, which is required for crafting with harvest. So we craft with the Horticrafting station, and then you can see you can sort them by the color, or you can just pull down and see what mods actually exist. It's pretty self-explanatory. It tells you exactly what it does. Like here, we can see reforge a rare item with a random modifier, including a fire modifier. So it's really similar to fossils, but there's one thing that's really important to know is that RT crafting station, well, harvest mechanic, works with meta crafting. So if you were to use the benchcraft to say, let's say, suffixes cannot be changed, and use a fossil on it, it will not keep that modifier. But if you do it on the RT crafting station, it actually works with it. So that's the biggest difference, I would say. And also, it's a guaranteed modifier. So as you can see here, including a fire modifier. If you're using fossils, it's just more likely to have a fire modifier, right? Okay, and now that we understand this, how do we actually get the life force? So at one point you will encounter the Sacred Grove. I'll explain to you how you can actually get the Sacred Grove guaranteed, but once we go in there, it will take us to another zone, and then you can see there's a couple of plots, and you can decide which side you take. One will just disappear once you use the other one, unless you have a specific node on the atlas. I'll show it later, but I'll just show you. So the grade 1 or tier 1 seeds, the white one are tier 2, and the light blue are tier 3. So the most important one are tier 3, as they provide most of the life force. And then we also have another one which is tier 4, which is a boss, and it can drop you the Sacred Blossom that will give you access to the Oshabi fight. We'll talk about it later. We'll just pop that one, and yeah. The other plot, as I said, will build, and we'll lose it. There's a node on the atlas that allows you to not wield that plot, but you can see it just popped up. First wave was the tier 1 and tier 2, and then it will be tier 3 and tier 4. Here we have no tier 4 again, so first wave is tier 1 and tier 2, and then the tier 3 will start coming. Go. Carry the life force and move on. Always try to aim for the light blue, as they give you almost 3 times the number of tier 2, the number of life force as the tier 2 do. So keep in mind that the number of life force you get scales with the tier of the map, so tier 16 is the best to go with, and also scales with quantity on your map. Alright, now, how do we access the Sacred Grove? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Sometimes on the map device, you will be able to craft it with chaos. It usually isn't cheap, like 10, 12 chaos, but this league we do not have it. So we can always allocate the 7th gate, which is allocating this and all the gateways, all the 6 gateways. Then you can access all the crafting possible in the game, no matter what the league is. Or you could just gamble your way and run a couple of maps until you hit it. But there's also some other ways. So you can buy one of those compass, which will give you a guaranteed Sacred Grove. In addition to the compasses that guarantees the Sacred Grove, there's also one for each color. So one for purple, one for blue, and one for yellow. That will give you twice as much life force. And it also gives 100% more life on the monsters from harvest, so make sure your build can actually handle it. But yeah, it can go from 3 to 4 uses depending if it player has the node on the atlas. Alright, with that being said, now let's check at the atlas. It might change from league to leagues, but it will be pretty similar. So if we click on here, we have a couple of nodes. So on the bottom right, we have just more chance of getting a sacred grove. So if you're using a compass, don't worry about it. It will not change anything. And then we have a couple of small nodes that give increased quantity. And here we have 50% chance to contain additional harvest. Just keep in mind that it can only have one sacred growth, even though it says additional. The maximum is one encounter of it. And here we have a good node, which gives more experience. So if your build is safe enough and you're aiming for the XP, it can be useful, and also spawn some additional monsters. But the cool one is this, I would say, 10% chance to have duplicated life force, and that one too. So this is the node I said that there was a chance that your crops will not wilt. Well, this is the one, 10% chance not wilt. So you can actually, if it happens, you can actually do both side and you will be fine. And also increase chances to get a tier 4 plant. Now uh, there's some others here that I do not use personally, but you could. Pretty much what it does is you can lower the chance of getting a color, and then let's say yellow is usually the one that's worth more, so you could block, well, lower the chance of getting purple and blue, and that way it increases your chance of getting yellow one. And then this crop rotation, uh, well, what it does is pretty much randomize everything. So sometimes you will get a ton of life force, but some others you will barely get any. So keep that in mind. All right, now there's another way we can actually guarantee having the Sacred Grove. There's a memory called Einhar memory of the Sacred Grove. So just keep that in mind, that just like any other memory, your atlas will not influence it, but the crops will be larger in size and also contain higher tier. So just like any memory, we'll just apply it to our atlas. Click. There we go. And we actually get 4 maps. So talk to Einhar, and then as I said, the tier of the map matters, and also the quantity on it. So we'll try to get as much quantity as possible. 84 is not bad. We'll just follow it. And yeah, here we have a bunch of it. 145.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Alright, we'll just run it. And just like any memories, you don't have to kill the boss whenever you're doing it. Okay. Trying to get to the Sacred Grove, and then be careful with this, because whenever you're doing a memory, it could add a bunch of modifiers and maybe your character cannot run it. Just be careful. And yeah, it's pretty similar, but you have more chances at getting a higher tier, as you can see here. But the crops is larger. And also, as I said, higher tier, so you have a high chance of getting a tier 4. Much the same principle, where you have all the life force. You can see we do not get to choose which side we pick, just a larger one.
My mana is gone.
And then yeah, we're done with the map. You could kill the boss if you want to, but personally, yes, just skip it. Sometimes when you kill tier 4 seeds, you will actually get a Sacred Blossom. It's not guaranteed, but it will sometimes drop it. When you get it, you can actually run it just like a map. You put it into your map device, and then you can open a portal to it. What will happen is that you will get to fight Oshabi. To be honest, Oshabi isn't too hard to kill, but maybe at the beginning of the league it can be a challenge.
The first daughter of Rayclast.
Here she will spawn, and she guaranteed a secret crystallized life force. So that, and she will drop some other items like this. The funny thing about the sacred crystallized life force is that most of the time it's worth more than the sacred blossom, and as you can see, it takes like very little time to kill Oshabi, so you could be making profit just from killing Oshabi over and over and selling the sacred crystallized life force. So on the second part of this video, I'll be talking on how you can use the Horticrafting station to actually make profit with it or upgrade your gear. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, take care, guys.